Today, we are going to talk about how 25.6% of all searches are now zero click. And here's what you should actually do about it. So let me give you some context here. This was a report done by SEMrush or SEMrush, however you want to define it. And based on the data that they picked up, they saw that more and more clicks are moving to zero click. And Neil, what is zero click exactly?
Zero click is someone ends up doing a search on Google and they don't click anything. A great example of this is if you type in, let's say, Las Vegas weather or Los Angeles weather. So whatever city you're going to or live in, if you type that in plus weather, you'll see the weather. Google shows it to you typically for that day plus the next 6 days. So a total of 7-day forecast. And you usually don't click through on to any website. The same goes if you just ask Google, what's 2 plus 2? It'll tell you that the answer is 4. You don't need to click a website to figure out that the answer is 4.
Yep. So basically what we want to talk about is what you can do to kind of counteract against this. So Neil and I will go back and forth here. The first thing I'll kick it off with is actually looking for long tail keywords. So I know a lot of people try to optimize for, let's say, shoes. So instead of trying to optimize for the keyword shoes, you can optimize for men's running shoes or women's dress shoes. Maybe you can put a color in there. The reason I'm saying this is because long tail SERPs are less likely to have zero click features. That doesn't mean they'll never have them. Sometimes they will, but you want to basically, look for where there's less competition, right? And you can do this using certain tools out there. Neil, I don't know if Ubersuggest does this, but I can speak to SEMrush and Ahrefs. They do have abilities where you can see kind of the features on a very specific SERP. You just need to type in that keyword. So
Exactly. Yeah, we show you rich snippets. And then the other thing that I would end up doing is focusing on question-based keywords. So if you look at Quora, top 1,000, top 100, not 1,000, top 100 website in the world according to SimilarWeb. And the way Quora gets the traffic is they just answer questions such as, how hard is it to be Olympian? Or what is the training regimen like to be in the Olympics? How hard is it to be a college professor? How hard is it to get into Stanford? Now, depending on the industry you're in, you want to answer questions that are related to your industry, but it's an easy way to get a lot of traffic and people tend to click through. Now, sometimes Google will pull some of the answers into the SERP, so you may not always get clicks, but a lot of times people will go through to your website and dig deeper because for a lot of questions, the answer isn't a simple one sentence or a one-word thing. It is much more complex than that.
So point number 2 for me, go ahead.
And these terms aren't that competitive, so they're easy to rank for. Hence, Quora gets so much traffic.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, we're kind of building on the long-term piece, the long tail piece right now. But my second point is on avoiding the zero-click searches altogether. So if you use any of these tools, Ubersuggest, Ahrefs, SEMrush, what you can do is just show the features that don't show the zero click, or sorry, the zero click results, or the featured snippets, I should say. Go for the blue ocean instead of the red ocean. I'll add on one more on top of that. If you're going to try to avoid the zero click searches, I would say at a higher level, think about taking it to a higher level, not just focusing all your eggs in one basket on SEO, but diversifying your traffic sources altogether, right? So let's say you're doing pretty well with SEO, but you find that you're capping out. Where is the arbitrage? So is the arbitrage on LinkedIn or Twitter, on YouTube or short form video? You have good organic reach on all of those, right? It's just a matter of where is your audience hanging out and can you go diversify your traffic sources there? And ideally you focus on a couple, maybe one or two, get them going really well and then scale out to the other ones.
The other thing I would do is focus on building a brand. A great way to do that is be everywhere. Eric talked about omni-channel, but when someone sees or interacts with your brand 7 times, they're much more likely to evangelize it, remember it, talk to other people about it. You build a great brand by creating amazing content, building a great product, building a great service, building a community, participating, replying to comments. These are all things that can help build a brand. It also takes many, many years. Even if it's a personal brand, you speak at a few conferences, it's not going to help that much. But if you do a conference a month for 5 years, you'll really notice that your brand will start taking off. The point I'm getting at is build a brand. If you look at terms like Nike, it's searched roughly 6 times more in the United States in the term shoes. That just shows you the popularity of a brand. And if you build a brand, people will come directly to you. You don't have to worry as much about zero clicks, and you don't have to worry as much about algorithms as well.
Cool. Last thing from my side, on building on top of building a brand is building a community. So building a brand sometimes can be seen as building an audience. So an audience is just imagine like one or two speaking to many people or a group of people speaking to many. But a community is, if you look at it as like a graph or like a group of dots, you have people talking to each other, right? And so once you build an audience, you can think about building a community. And what that means is you can have virtual events, you can have live events where you have like-minded people hanging out. It can be a small group, it can be a big group, but these are where people build relationships. And it's also a very nice retention mechanism. And it gets people talking, gets people coming back at the end of the day because, well, that's where serendipity happens. Anything else, Neil?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Please don't forget to rate, review, subscribe to this pod. It helps us grow, and we will talk to you later.